During times of terrible hardships and deadly trials, faith is what we inevitably rely on to survive said trials. Faith in others, faith in ourselves, or faith in the divine. The members of the Goddess Squad each had their own trials, with each other, on the battlefield, and most importantly, within themselves. Rapunzel, a holy woman of VTC who is next in line to become the new pope, a beacon of faith for those who believed, but duty called once the Rapture invasion began. Grimm's model number 3, named Rapunzel, joined the Goddess Squad as a Medican priestess, offering her prayers, knowledge, and protection to the goddesses of victory on the field of battle. The life Rapunzel had before she became a Nikke is not well known at this time, but what we do know is that her strong faith and dedication led her to be a powerful religious figure within the church. Her knowledge and skills as a researcher within VTC led to considerable contributions to Nikke research and development in the early days before the Big Three, even working alongside Red Shoes herself, who Rapunzel trusted and confided in when she made the decision to join the Goddess Squad. Her relationship with the members of the Goddess Squad is rather equal, thinking highly of each and every one of them, happily putting up with their shenanigans while helping with whatever she can. Her relationship with Red Hood is strong. They often jab at each other and joke around, but when Red Hood became corrupted, Rapunzel grew closer to her, offering her skills as one of the leading researchers at VTC to help figure out a cure for corruption, helping Red Hood manage her symptoms and pain as they both carried out their duties as goddesses of victory. With the disappearance of Lilith, her commander, and Red Hood from the Goddess Squad, her faith in herself and her god was tried, but it is clear today that her belief has never faltered. During Operation Ark Guardian, she and the remaining members of the Goddess Squad defended the Ark in the final stages of it being sealed from the surface above, but ultimately being betrayed and locked out by the newly formed central government, after the promise of a warm welcome home. Deciding to split up and find the Rapture Queen themselves, the remaining members of the Goddess Squad went their separate ways. Scarlet, Snow White, and Rapunzel meet once a month or so to discuss their findings with each other. The three have formed a new squad, Pioneer, as they feel that they cannot call themselves goddess without their leader, Dorothy. The life Rapunzel lives now is one more befitting the nun motif she has, wandering the vast expanses of the surface alone, and with the signal jamming function of her long golden hair, she avoids raptures rather than fights them, because fighting is not her main goal. Her main goal is finding Nikkes who have already met their fate to the raptures, or granting those near death their last rites, staying with them in their final moments. She buries their bodies and offers prayers to God for their salvation, helping their souls move towards a peaceful rest, planting a single strand of her special hair so that raptures do not disturb the graves of the departed Nikkes, all the while resisting the lustful temptations she is plagued with and carrying the memories of her past. The type of life expected of one who serves the God above. Rapunzel is kind, loyal, and above all steadfast in her faith, resisting temptations and caring for those who desperately need it. Neither judging nor condemning, she walks the path of sainthood and grants peace to both the living and the dead who she encounters. A beacon of hope and salvation for those who she meets on her journey. In the Red Ash event, Red Hood sees Rapunzel struggling with not living up to other people's expectations. So Red Hood gives her a speech about how she should live the life that she wants, not the life that is expected from the people around her, as well as the members of VTC. Hypocritically, her constant lustful temptations that she deals with now stem from Red Hood. In Rapunzel's time with the Goddess Squad, her purity drew the attention of the rebellious Red Hood. Red Hood's complete disregard for Rapunzel's repeated requests for her to stop teasing her with such perverted material opened the doors that cannot so easily be closed, forcing her to live a life that she never wanted to live. A life of constant temptation, contrary to what Red Hood preached to her. Regardless, she cares very much for Red Hood and all members of the Goddess Squad. The horny nun trope is a common one, and one that certainly applies to Rapunzel. Although for Rapunzel, it isn't just about her being down bad. The temptation she struggles with is one that many who believe in God also struggle with, making her relatable in a way. Instead of actively indulging in the stereotype, she instead resists every single time, not letting it get the best of her when the situation demands her full attention. Though sometimes she can slip up when her desire is especially strong. And making mistakes makes her just a bit more human. As someone who grew up with quite a religious background, I'm always fascinated with how media depicts religion or the church. Oftentimes they are depicted as cool-looking villains, or as comedic relief. But when they are treated with respect, it is always interesting to see how the writers go about it. And respectful is definitely the best word to describe Rapunzel, both for how she treats others and how Shift Up treats her. The respect that is given to Rapunzel's character is shown in how she interacts with those around her. She does not brandish her faith, nor does she chastise those who do not believe the same as her. Those around her respect her faith and accept it as part of her. She is humble, kind, smart, and only wishes for peace and salvation for everyone. Using her knowledge as a VTC researcher to attempt to help her friend Red Hood, as well as giving up the chance to become the next pope and join the Goddess Squad instead. Truly somebody to admire and to look up to. Often with religious characters in games, they are easily made fun of. Their faith is seen as a hindrance or an annoyance rather than a help. But for Rapunzel, it is a part of who she is, and it is where her strength comes from. One quirk about Rapunzel, especially with being a Grimm's model who has seen so much for a long time, is that she suffers from a neurological problem where her memory storage is rather limited, making her more susceptible to a mind switch if she does not purge some of her memories. The way she deals with this is to delete everything except the memories from 2 time frames that she has deemed the most important to her: the early days of the Rapture invasion with the Goddess Squad, and the most recent memories of her wandering the surface. She has control of what memories or experiences she keeps. And as such, it's a safe bet that she can remove any memory or instance of Red Hood teasing her with perverse material, which ultimately led to her struggles that she deals with now. But perhaps the temptations she endures on purpose, as they are a reminder of her friend, her final lasting impression before her disappearance forever. Stories are only as good as the characters within and how well they are written. Nikke, a game with a unique story and a vast universe full of interesting characters, hardly misses when filling the world with details and lore. How we see the world of Nikke is through the experiences of the characters within and the trials that they all faced, all of them offering their own view as we watch the story unfold. From mass-produced Nikkes, specialized manufactured Nikkes, and the pilgrims of old and new, every Nikke has a story to tell that is different from the last. And with Rapunzel being one of my absolute favorite Nikkes in the game, I am more than happy with the respect that Shift Up has given her. Rapunzel, a humble woman of God who does all she can for those she loves, for mankind, her fellow Nikkes, and most important of all, her friends. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of Rapunzel in the comments below. Are you happy with how Shift Up handled her character? Are there things you think Shift Up could have done differently with her? I am Ganungagap III, and I will see you all again at an unscheduled time in the future.